Hey everyone, back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the aftermath. And aftermath, I'm struggling to even articulate, to be brutally honest with you. It is off the back of Newcastle United and in 70 years of hurt by winning the Carabao Cup, the League Cup in old money. And it's absolutely unbelievable. It really is. I did the post-match yesterday with Mark, and I don't even feel like I was there. It was like an out-of-body experience. It was absolutely incredible just seeing everyone's excitement, everyone's joy, everyone's adulation. I can't even imagine how people down at Wembley could even function after that game. It was absolutely incredible. It really was. And you know what this means for this football club is almost immeasurable. You know, you can't even quantify it. You know, people who know a little bit about Newcastle United's history and a little bit about how long it's been for us winning the trophy, they say the words, oh, you know, it's been a long time coming. But until you've been in this region for a long period of time, since you've supported this club through all of it, through the good times, the bad times, the shit times, the Ashley times, the awful times, you know, all these times where players went on strike, players left for big money, you know, local heroes were sold for fortunes a week after they signed new contracts. You know, we were laughed at, we were ridiculed, we were everybody's joke. Look at the fat lad crying in the stadium, fucking sob on the tie and all that bollocks when we went down. All of that shit was put right yesterday at Wembley with that unbelievable victory by Eddie Howe and the lads. And it's absolutely sensational. It really is. There's so many wonderful stories attached to this game. You don't even know where to begin. If you could write a perfect football script, it would be this. Dan Burn. Let's start with Dan Burn. 32 years old, just called up to the England national team. This is a lad who was released by Newcastle when he was a young lad, and he went to push trolleys in fucking Asda. He worked in McDonald's as well. And look at him now. He hasn't just been capped by England. He scored the first goal that has ended a 70-year trophy drought for his boyhood club, Newcastle United, that he's fought his whole life to get back to. He's played right through the leagues, non-league all the way up to the Premier League, the biggest fucking tallest left back the Premier League has ever seen. And he scored that first goal that got us going. And I'm so happy for Dan Burn, not only for Dan Burn and Dan Burn's family, but I'm happy as well because right there, right now, there's a young footballer being released by a big club right now, his boyhood club, and his whole world has imploded and he's devastated. Here's a bit of advice for you, young man. Look at Dan Burn. Look at that story. Look at what you can do. If you never give up, you persevere, you stick at it, you work hard. Yes, there'll be tough times ahead, but you can get yourself back to the pinnacle of your footballing career like that fucking big, tall, wonderful bastard did yesterday by scoring that first goal. I was so happy for him. It was absolutely fucking amazing. And Alexander Isak, there's nothing in the game, shows up with a brilliant finish once again. And do you know what the best thing is about this? All through the lead up to the game, all through the press conference to the game, journalists asking about Alexander Isak's future, and he said, he was getting pissed off, and rightly so. He said, I can win things here. We're challenging here. And we're not just challenging. We've won something now. We've won a cup this season, right? We could end this season winning more than Arsenal have. Potentially winning more than Manchester City have, right? Why the fuck would Alexander Isak want to leave this football club right now when he can win things here, when he can realise his dreams here? He's getting 20 plus goals a season. He's fucking brilliant. He's winning cups. He's possibly going to push and get the Champions League again. If we can get that Champions League space as well, why would Alexander Isak want to leave this wonderful football club? The feeling that those lads must have had, the feeling of that win, never mind the local lads, the Longstaffs, the Burns, the Mileys, you know, never mind the Gillespies even, fuck me, Elliot Anderson and Jody Maradona in the crowd singing, fucking amazing. You know, never mind the feeling the local lads would have felt. You've been here 2 or 3 years as a player. You know what it means to the club. You know what it means to the supporters. You got Geordies who are massaging you, Geordies who are making you tea every day, Geordies who are cleaning the ground, Geordies who bring you the kit, you know, never mind the people who live around the area as well. They know what it means to this community. The likes of Isak, the likes of Bruno. Bruno in floods of tears. I was crying looking at Bruno crying. It could have brought a tear to a glass eye, man. It was absolutely incredible. It really, really was. And a little mention to Liverpool as well. Liverpool fans, they've won that thing 10 times, right? A lot of class, a lot of respect from the Liverpool fans. I saw a great video there, tagged it on RX. down below if you want to follow us, if you haven't already. And it was absolutely brilliant. You know, this old fella who's in his 60s, you know, getting really emotional, saying that's my first cup. And then the Liverpool fan gave him a cuddle and said, well done, lad, you deserve it. That's football for me. That's football right there. Liverpool are one of the most successful clubs in the country. There's no doubt about it. They'll win the league this season, and rightly so. They deserve to win it because they've been absolutely brilliant. But yesterday, there was no contentious decisions. There was no whinging. I know some of them moaned about this deadly tackle on Harvey Elliott from Joe Linton. Yes, he should have got a yellow card, but fuck me. I saw Dorman throw people like Whitley Bay stronger than that back in my prime. You know, that's just football, isn't it? But a lot of Liverpool fans have been excellent. They've gave Newcastle United, you know, the kind of, I wouldn't say their blessings, but, you know, they've said, well done, enjoy it, you deserve it. And I haven't seen a lot of animosity and a lot of shit from real Liverpool fans. There are always going to be social media winnets that are going to give you shit on there, but they'll do that anyway just because the day ends in Y. But a lot of the real Liverpool fans are, you know, happy for Newcastle United fans that we've finally ended this trophy drought. And, you know, they'll have loads more trophies coming, even this season as well. You know, the pinnacle, the big one, the Premier League, they'll be winning that, and they deserve to win it as well. But it's amazing to see that from the Liverpool fan base as well. But for the likes of that guy in his 60s, man, you know, people have lived their whole lives. You know, their dads or mums who took them to the game have passed away and they've never seen Newcastle win anything. They've seen that now. You know, just the feeling of relief, the weight off your shoulders as a supporter. These supporters who have been following Newcastle through thick and thin, travelling the country, travelling the globe, following Newcastle. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Always losing out at the last minute. Always just being disappointed right at the end, getting so close. It's the hope that kills you, as they say. But it didn't happen yesterday. Everything came to fruition. My worry at the start of the week, I was worried about the mentality of the players. I really was. I said to somebody who was a Liverpool fan as well, by the way, and I said, I'm worried about the mentality of these players. Have they got the big game mentality? Can they do it? Can they show up in the big moment? And by fucking hell, they all showed up in the moment. Every single one of them did. The mentality was there. There was a focus. There was a steeliness. There was a readiness about the squad. Every single one of them just looked calmer, ready for it, more relaxed. And also the belief was there that they could win that competition. And that's what got us over the line. We don't have as good of a players as Liverpool do. They've got some excellent players. You know, Van Dijk is one of the best defenders the Premier League's ever seen. Mo Salah still, you know, even at the age he is now, you know, contract up in the air. I still don't know why the hell that's happened with Liverpool, but he's still absolutely incredible. Best season he's ever had in his life. We nullified him. That left-hand side, Timo Livramento, Harvey Barnes, Joe Linton, all three of them knew the job that they had to do, and they did it. They did it absolutely brilliantly. And every single one of those players, no matter what we said about them before, no matter the criticism, every single one of them in that squad yesterday deserve the legendary status. They've etched their names into the immortality of this football club. They've done something that so many great players beforehand couldn't do. Shearer, Speed, Ferdinand, Beardsley, Andy Cole, Ginola, all these mint players, all these players who are so good, couldn't do it. Couldn't do what they did yesterday, and they did that. So the Longstaffs, you know, and the targets who don't always get, you know, a lot of praise from the fans, they were part of that. They helped get us there. They helped win that competition. I know they didn't get on the pitch, but fuck it. They're still there. They're still part of it, and they deserve that legendary status. Every single one of them. Never want for a pint in Newcastle ever again. Mind you, judging by the cup that Sean Longstaff was drinking, he might not want a pint for a good few years, to be fair. Fucking fair play to him. That's a Shields lad born and bred right there. But it was amazing. The atmosphere was incredible. Everything I've consumed afterwards, even Sky didn't do us dirty. They did us right. You know, even though the mainstream media, I'm sure, still wanted Liverpool to win it because they had all the poems lined up and Drury slaving at the mouth. Even they couldn't take it away from Newcastle yesterday, because any football fan who's suffered any period of time looks at that yesterday, well, unless you're a Sunderland fan, of course, says, fuck me. Even some of the Mackhams were saying, fair play. You know, looking at that adulation, looking at that emotion, that passion, people crying in the crowd, you know, big, strong, granite-made motherfuckers bawling their eyes out in the crowd, because that's what it means to them. That's what it means to the region. That's what it means to follow Newcastle United and to see success. You know, like I said, we're always just getting there and just falling over, but not anymore. We've done it now, and this could be the start of a dynasty for Newcastle United. This can be a start of us winning trophies. The last 3 years, this manager, no matter what you think about him, no matter the critique you're throwing his way, and at times it's been valid, he has done something that the great Bobby Robson couldn't do, Kevin Keegan couldn't do, Rafa Benitez, who won everything where he was, including with Liverpool, couldn't do, He's won a trophy for Newcastle United, and for that he deserves to have the respect. He deserves the adulation. What he's done in 3 years at this football club, and certainly the last 3 windows with limited resource to get us to winning a cup. And I think this can springboard us as well to qualify for the Champions League. I think the confidence the lads will take from this victory will push them over the line, and we can maybe get that Champions League position as well. But that win does guarantee us European football. And for people like Bruno, people like Isaac, looking at that, just drinking that in, they might be saying, where else are we going to go where you get this much passion for winning things? I'm not sure there's anywhere on the earth that will give you that much passion for winning things that we saw yesterday from those brilliant supporters. And a massive shout out to all those supporters who made that journey to Wembley, all the supporters around the world, every single one of us who have suffered years and years of underachieving, mediocrity, ridicule from the rest of the footballing world. That win is for each and every single one of us, and it was absolutely incredible. I was pissed off about the open bus thing, when it first came out, but you know what? Now I can't fucking wait for the open bus at the end of the season. Get that date locked in. I'm going to get my arse up there. Mark will be there. We'll get there. We'll see what's going on. We'll maybe chuck a camera on, get some interactions, because I just can't wait to drink in that positivity. I wasn't at the ground yesterday when everyone was. I wasn't out, actually. I was in the house because I'm old now and I had work in the morning, sadly, so I knew I had to lock in. But nevertheless, I was still completely pissed at my brain on just excitement and emotion. Drinking that in was intoxicating enough, never mind the bevy that everyone's had. Probably got sore heads today. Maybe by the time this video comes out, you're just getting over your hangover. But an absolutely amazing achievement by this group of players, by this manager, and back the manager in the summer. Give him those 3 or 4 players that he needs. We should be doing this every other season. We should be getting to finals, winning cups, getting to the Champions League, pushing for titles in the next 2 or 3 years. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, despite all of the bullshit regulations, red tape and restrictions the Premier League's try to put in front of us. No, it's not going to stop Newcastle United. It's not going to stop us. And you know what? The likes of Oliver Holt with his post, fuck that prick. Honestly, I'm not even going to get into that stupid waste of fucking skin who decided to make it a geopolitical platform in the aftermath of that unbelievable achievement from those players, and the likes of a Geordie and Dan Burn at 32, nearly 33, scoring the first goal to get us there. What a fucking complete win it on the arse of media that bellend is. I won't get into that prick. He's not going to ruin my vibe. But unbelievable for Newcastle United. I'm buzzing still. I can't believe it. Me and Mark are going to be on tonight with what's going on. There'll be a link there for the members. Jump on. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what you were thinking on the day. If you're at Wembley and you're back in time, jump on and tell us. You probably slept all fucking day. But it's incredible. It's amazing. I'm buzzing still. We deserved it. Nobody can take it away from us. I've not seen anybody even try, because we were excellent. We should have won 4-1, not 2-1. But these lads are mint. Eddie Howe's mint. Get it sorted, lads. Have your break in Dubai. Go on at national duty. Come back safe, and let's push on and get Champions League. And let's have both in the bag come the end of the season. Away the lads. Get in. Keep it evermore, guys. Like and subscribe. Fucking buzzing. I'm sure you are. All the best. See you later.